Hello friends, Alex on the 16th of July, currently 18:19 in the evening. So yeah, we're currently at the parking area of Ichinose campground, I believe, which is just at the base of Mount Haku, or Hakusan, which is 2,702 meters or so. I'm just here camping tonight with Chie before we ascend up in that direction where Mount Haku will be. It's about a 1,600 meter elevation change from Tateyama, which is towards that way, which to explain easier. So we're currently at Ichinose, and we'll get a bus tomorrow at 5 o'clock. As you can see here, 5 o'clock, that'll be tomorrow morning, and then starting from Tateyama at around 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I'm just going to go to the vending machine now and get a drink. But yeah, just a very short video to explain where I am, what we're doing. Tomorrow is Mount Haku. That will be about a 10-hour round trip. So yeah, until next time, Alex out. Hello friends, Alex on the 17th of July, currently 5:20 in the morning. Is it 5:20? It is 5:20, yeah. Currently at the entrance to Mount Haku, or Hakusan, which is 2,702 meters, elevation currently around 1,200 meters or so, give or take. At a place called Tateyama, which is a bus stop pretty much that brings you up to here. There's a shrine there that indicates the start of Mount Haku, and then you either go left to the Kanko Shindo as one route, or right to the Sabo Shindo, by the looks of it. I believe we'll be going to the right from here, just down that way, rather than up there. But yeah, Chie's has gone to the toilet, so I'm using this time to, take a bit of footage. But yeah, the hike itself is going to take about 4 to 5 hours one way, and then after that have some lunch, take a time, have some relaxation time and such at a place called Mudodo, which is near the summit, and then to the slow descent back down, arriving at Tateyama around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock or so. Last bus is about 5, so should arrive in plenty of time for that. So yeah, as you can tell, it's incredibly busy / popular around here, so not really something that I'm used to, other people, but hey ho, we'll make do with it. I'll probably take some more footage later and include some more information about Hakusan as to what it is and such. So until then, Alex out. Hello again friends, Alex on the way up to Mount Haku, currently the 17th of July 2021, 7:29 in the morning, around 1,960 meters elevation. So over there's one of Haku's peaks sticking out, which is Mount Besan, which is around 2,300, 2,200 meters. Mount Haku itself, you need to proceed up there. Cheers over there. She is gambattaruing, which is trying hard. We have about another 700 meters to go until the summit of Mount Haku, but before that there is a place called Mudodo that we're going to call in at. There is in fact actually a place called Mudodo at Tateyama as well, which is another one of the holy mountains. So yeah, I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but Mount Haku is one of the 3 holy mountains in Japan. You have Mount Fuji at 3,700 meters or so, whatever it is. Mount Tate at about 3,024 meters, and then Mount Haku at 2,702 meters. So they make up the 3 holy mountains of Japan. So they'll also have a shrine at the top as well, where I'll probably buy an amulet of sorts, because good luck and all that, But yeah, very, 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 very nice weather today. Probably couldn't really ask for any better, really. Simpson sort of clouds forming over there. Can't really identify any mountains over there for you, because Mount Haku's in a sort of strange location. When we get a bit higher, I might be able to point out Mount Arashima Dake, or Mount Arashima anyway, which is another one of the 100 famous in Fukui Prefecture, which is south of Ishikawa Prefecture, which is where Mount Haku is. So that's a lot of information that I'm dumping on you. Yeah, early morning sun over there, 7:30, so bright and early. We've been making really, really good progress so far, so might be a good idea to maybe slow down a touch. There are a lot of people though, that you might be able to tell over there. Very, very popular. Obviously this is a Jinnosuke, what do you call it? Jinnosuke refuge shelter. So there are also toilets here, basically 2,000 meters up a mountain, which is pretty impressive, I think. But yeah, going to continue taking a bit of a break, and then continue on up towards Mudodo, which is in about another 400 meters, so in about an hour's time or so, where I'll try and take some more footage, I think. If not, it will be on the way to Mount Haku's summit. So yeah, until next time, Alex out. Hello again friends, Alex on the 17th of July, currently 9:40 in the morning at Mudodo Visitor Centre, which is around 2,480 meters or so. Hakusan, just to remind you, is 2,700 meters. Hopefully I'll be able to go around this corner and show you where Hakusan summit is. That is Mount Besan over there, one of Mount Haku's alternate peaks. And then, there you go, up there, that's Mount Haku summit. It's about another 220 metres or so from here. Quite a sort of steep ascent, but it's not really too hard considering that my baggage isn't really too heavy compared to usual. So yeah, going up there. As you can see, clouds are forming over there as well, which makes for quite nice scenery. Can't really see into the distance though, any peaks in the distance anyway, which is a bit of a shame because the clouds are coming up. But yeah, we'll be coming back here later to see if we can get some lunch as well. There are a lot of people there on the way up, so I imagine there'll also be a lot of people here on the way down. So yeah, see how it goes, I think. So yeah, I'll take some more footage, I think, probably when I get to the top. So until then, Alex, out. Hello friends, Alex again on the 17th of July 2021, currently 10:30 in the morning. We are at the summit of Mount Haku. It's very, very busy. There's Chie. Yeah, I just wanted to show you actually, it's quite interesting. Over there you can see Ontake-san, and then Norikura. Moving over to the Northern Alps, you will have sort of Mount Yake, Mount Okuho, Karamatsu, the Daikire somewhere. One second, where's Yali gone? Yeah, the Daikire is basically straight ahead where I'm pointing at the moment. Then you have sort of Kita Hotaka, Naka, Minami, Obami Dake, and then Yali as well. Over there, there's more of the Northern Alps as well. Obviously in summer, the one that I'm planning on doing would be going from Okuho all the way over there also. But yeah. That's the summit of Mount Haku. Very, very busy because it's very, very popular by the looks of it, and plus the weather is really good today. There's a nice sort of blue lake over there, volcanic lake. It's quite windy as well, so apologies for that if you get buffeted by it. There's sort of butterflies appearing around as well, which is quite nice. Some of the bear bells going off, which are very noisy. I seem to be getting filmed. But yeah, after this we're going to go back down to Mount, which is about 250 metres. 250 metres downhill or so, just have some lunch. I'm really, really hungry, so I'm going to have a lot, I think. But yeah, other than that, hope this has been fairly interesting. It's really, really good weather today. Maybe on the way down I'll take some more footage as well, because I know that I've not really taken very much on the way up, because when I'm with people I don't really like to take too much footage. Yeah, the shrine's over there as well, did some praying and such, you know. But yeah, I'll take some more footage later. So yeah, for now, Alex out. Hello friends, Alex again on the 17th of July 2021, currently around 10 to 3 in the afternoon, on the way down from Mount Haku. Elevation around 1300 metres, give or take, at the moment. Very near the trailhead entrance now, after a very grueling descent through the 32-33 degree weather. So yeah, very, very sunburnt. I don't know if you can really tell, but yeah, not very pleasant, but hey ho, that's how it goes. Betto de Ai, the place that we're going to, is right ahead of us, so it's through the trees over there. Very, very close. Chie is looking worse for wear at the moment, so I won't show her, I don't think, on video. But yeah, she's quite tired after all this. I still feel pretty energetic actually, because my, what do you call it, my baggage has been stupidly light this time, so it's been an absolute lifesaver. But yeah, the trail down was a different route that we took. It was called the Kanko Shindo that we took, rather than the Sabo Shindo, which is the route that we took on the way up. Kanko in Japanese means tourism or tourist. So you'd imagine off the name called Kanko route, or sorry, tourism route, you'd think, oh, you know, that'd be a nice easy path, it'd be nice and relaxing, but no. It's basically been just sort of jagged rocks up and down all the time. So oh, Jesus Christ. And that's my one fall, caught on camera. It's stereo. Hazakashiwa. But yeah, that's a good example for you of why I shouldn't take videos when I'm walking down. So yeah, for now, I'm going to get back to climbing, or descending anyway. So yeah, I'll take some more footage, probably when I'm back in Kyoto, I imagine, or maybe back in civilization. So until next time, Alex, out. Hello friends, Alex again. Very sunburnt Alex on the 18th of July, currently 3 minutes to 1 in the morning. So I've returned from Hakusan now, or Mount Haku. I didn't take any footage other than that one of me horrendously falling over on the way down. So I just thought I'd do a quick recap when I'm back at home. So I just go over the course and such, and fill you in on some of the things that I probably didn't go over in detail that I probably should have during the video. So yeah, Mount Haku is one of those mountains that really have to be at the foot of the mountain to start to be able to do it in the day. But it does have an option to stay at Murodo Mountain Lodge, which is around 2,490 meters. Mount Haku, for reference, is 2,702 meters. So the starting point of Bettodei, which is the typical starting point anyway, is around 1,300. So you can imagine, yeah, it's about 1,100 meters, 1,200 meters to even get up to the mountain lodge itself, and then you have another 200, 250 meters or so after that to get to the summit of Mount Haku. But yeah, enough about alternatives. In our route that we did, me and Chie, we popped over to Ichinose campground, which I'd highly recommend, which is 9 kilometers from Bettodei. There is a restriction in place though of cars that can go up towards Bettodei, so you have to get a shuttle bus from Ichinose campground at about 5 o'clock in the morning, which sounds early, but you know, by mountain standards it's pretty okay, to be honest. So yeah, after popping to Ichinose campgrounds on Friday and arriving around 5 o'clock in the evening, we sort of set up camp there. Had a relaxing sort of, you know, few hours before getting to bed because need to get up at 4 o'clock, so quite an early start. Get up Saturday 4 o'clock, pack up stuff, discover that the car parks are stupidly crammed. So obviously the previous night there weren't any people, but it seems that a lot of people came overnight and sort of slept in the cars, which is cool, you know, more the merrier, I suppose. The reason for that is because Saturday, as you can probably tell, the fish today was really, really good weather. So yeah, there was going on hundreds of people really at Ichinose campground, getting on the shuttle bus to go towards Bettodei, which we did at around 20 to 5, so before 5, which is outrageous, I know. It's supposed to start from 5, but hey ho. Arrived at Bettodei and started walking at around half past 5, I think it was. So 20 to 5 bus, 20 past 5 also start. Went up the Sabo Shindo route, or the Sabo Trail, I suppose you could call it, which is a slow incline. It takes around 4 to 5 hours to get to the summit. You call in a place called Jinnosuke Mountain Lodge, and then also a place called Kuroboko Iwa, which is Kuroboko Stone. There's a few pictures that I'm posing on said stone, so I might put those in this video as well. After that, it's a sort of hop, skip and a jump towards Murodo, about another 100 meters from Kuroboko Iwa, which is around 2,350 meters, about another 100 meters to Murodo. And then you have the option, if obviously you're staying, you can stay there and check in, or in our case, as we did, doing a day trip where you continue on to Mount Haku, the summit anyway, which is in sight by that point for about another 200 meters, which takes about 30 minutes, 40 minutes ascent. After that, after saying your prayers at the top of Mount Haku, because it's one of the holy mountains, along with Mount Tateyama and Mount Fuji, you'd then descend back to Murodo and then back to Kuroboko Iwa. And then you have the choice of going back via the Sabo route or the Kanko route. So the Kanko route, as I said in the previous footage, Kanko means tourist or tourism route. So we chose that, thinking, oh, you know, might be a bit easier. It's a bit more of a steep descent at the end, so I was a bit curious about that, but, you know, we gave it a go. But obviously one thing that we underestimated massively was 36 degree weather or so on the day, bearing down upon us, and no matter how much sunscreen I applied, you know, this is the way that I've turned out, so oh well. So yeah, we sort of had a slow trog going down Kanko Shindo, and then eventually arrived back at Bettodei around 3 o'clock on schedule. So about 9.5 hours in total transit time, including breaks. Breaks we had about 2.5 hours worth. So yeah, at the end of that, I was at Murodo, purchased this little beauty here, which is the Nihon Sanmeizan Hakusan, which is one of the 3 holy mountains, Hakusan, 2,702 meters. That's along with the rest of my badges up there. We're on 37 now, just for reference. So yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching. I think the next video that I do will probably be the Southern Alps Trail, you know, the Southern Alps Ridge Walk that I'm planning on doing, which will be a 4 to 5 day series. So yeah, that'll be quite intense. I imagine that'll be starting around next week or so. So if this is up to date, hopefully I'll get those uploaded as soon as I can. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. As always, Alex, out.